Hey, this is Chris Jericho, and you're listening to Awesome Pod, the only wrestling pod that I listen to.
It's Thursday, and you know what that means. It's Darcy the Mail Girl, Shorty Taylor, and Brittany Patrizzo. Explain Dynamite and Rampage, we are here.
And Mistress Harley.
Raggedy bitches, once again, you are here to worship at the altar of the Awesome Pod. We are not like other wrestling podcasts. We have girls who speak of wrestling, who love wrestling. And I'm here with my gorgeous co-host, Diana Prince.
Oh, wait, thank you, Mistress Harley.
That's right. I am Mistress Harley, dominatrix extraordinaire. Men fear me. The universe, it revolves around me. But most importantly, I love wrestling. And we are here to discuss AEW Collision from March 16th, which for us, if you're following the flat circle space-time continuum, was yesterday.
Well, that's confusing, but happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah, and it's fucking St. Patrick's Day. If you're watching the video feed, that's why I am green and sparkly. Mistress
Aw.
Harley does not often wear green because with the fiery red mane of hair I have, I feel like it's always like Christmas. But
Good call.
St. Patrick's Day is a special occasion, so tits out, chin up, green and shit.
Watch out for the shoe.
That's right. Fear the shoe and also the pinching. Yes. So there's not enough pinching in wrestling. When was the last time you saw a good old fashioned titty twister?
Wow, I feel like it must happen, but I can't think of any offhand.
I know the production team listens to the podcast. At least I
More
hope they do.
titty twisting.
More titty twisting, please. So, Collision started out, as it always does, strong with a match between Brian Danielson, I will never know his name, and Shibata. But Brian Danielson, fuck him.
It
Fuck
takes
him.
me so long to think about it. I have to be like Daniel.
No, you know
It's
what?
very confusing.
Raggedy bitches, this is why gimmicks are important. You don't
Yes,
forget a gimmick.
Yes.
So from now on, I'm just going to call him the Dragon. I think Nigel McGuinness calls him the American Clam Digger, but I'm just going to call him the Dragon. There's no other dragon on this show. It's not hard to remember. So
I mean, we confuse him with Ricky Steamboat, though.
Oh, but that's true. Ricky Steamboat was actually on the show. He was.
Was he on this week?
No, he was not on this week.
No, he's been on a few times.
Exactly. He's been on AEW.
We're going to call him Yes Man.
Okay, Yes Man. Yes. Why didn't they go with that? Okay, so Yes Man Brian Danielson did win. One of the interesting things about this match was that they both had career-ending injuries. Now, they didn't seem career-ending because I was watching them put on a match in the ring. So I know it seems really scary when athletes get injured. Everybody goes to the worst case scenario, like you will never wrestle again. But both these guys can still wrestle, and they're both really good technical wrestlers. But there was like kicks, chops, butterfly suplexes. Daniel Bryan loves the fucking surfboard. He just loves it. I think it's because he gets to rest. But
I feel ultimately, like right.
Yeah, ultimately he won, and the fans were like, "This is awesome! This is awesome!" But then they hugged. The boys hugged.
Aw, sportsmanship.
Yeah, and all the fans were standing. So it's that like
okay.
Yes.
I should full disclosure that I've been traveling and I just got home, so I have not seen it yet. So you're filling me in, as seems to happen a lot for Collision. It's just weekends are harder.
Well, I understand.
I love hearing it from your point of view, and I love because like just off hearing it, I wouldn't be super excited for that match. I'd be like, I'll catch it when I can. But they got "This is awesome" chants, and the crowd was standing, so it sounds worth checking out.
Absolutely. Because remember, I'm just one point of view. You're just one point of view. Sometimes a match can really grab someone by the heart and make them care. And I know that sometimes, even though I don't feel like a match is like 10 stars, if I'm looking around and everybody else is like, this is a 10-star match, this is awesome. It's kind of like being at a fancy restaurant, watching somebody enjoy, I don't know, carbonara. I don't really like carbonara.
What
But
is
if someone's
carbonara?
I think it's some kind of pasta thing. Bobby Flay makes it all the time. If you've
Hmm.
ever watched Iron Chef, Bobby Flay will turn anything into carbonara. And when
What? No, I gotta find out what it is.
I'm still not sure what it is, but it's like
All
a
right.
pasta-y thing. But it's not really my thing. But I see some people really like it, and so I'm like, all right, that must be top quality carbonara, I guess.
So the first match was carbonara.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would describe it. Like a nice Bobby Flay Iron Chef 5-star, but maybe not my favorite thing, but 5-star still.
Okay, so I just looked it up because it's important to wrestling. Carbonara is a pasta dish made with eggs, hard cheese, fatty cured pork, and black pepper. Ew.
Yeah, and
I like this match more than carbonara. I can tell you that.
I am a carnivore and I still don't like carbonara. So, yeah, but some people do, and this match was just like that. But let me talk about the women's match
All
because
right.
since you didn't watch it, I don't even have to ask what you thought. But Julia Hart versus Trish Adora was the fancy match. Like everybody was well dressed,
Aw.
and I feel like every fall, every exchange of blows was like watching butterflies fight each other. It was beautiful.
Aw, that sounds wonderful. That sounds better than carbonara.
Yeah, violent German suplex, shoulder breaker, moonsault butterflies.
Man, Julia Hart has come so far. I'm so proud of her.
And of course, she did win this match,
Of course.
retaining the championship, which she well deserves. But I am starting to wonder if they're going to take it off of her just to mix it up a little bit, just to give the ladies something more to fight about. What do you think? Is it getting stale?
It's not for me, but like who would they give it to right now?
I mean, okay, I have a hard time keeping track of like who's on what show because I watch all the shows and there's a lot of crossover. But I would love it if there was some like Abaddon, Tony Storm. Like, I want all of everybody to come together and fight it out. It's like
Oh
they have a
yeah.
brand split and they need to bring everybody together.
I feel like they're pretty good about mixing it up. I don't think there's anybody that or too many people that are only on Collision or only on Rampage or whatever anymore. They've definitely spread it out, I think. So in theory, Abaddon could do it. I just feel like they don't use her enough as it is. So I don't think they're gonna give her the belt anytime soon.
No, that's true. She's somebody that I think doesn't maybe get enough opportunities, but because of her character, she could crawl out of anywhere. You could
Agreed.
have you could have an Abaddon just like a spider you didn't know was in your house. Like you're going about your business and then
Aw.
out of nowhere a screaming Abaddon.
Aw, I would pick her up gently and put her outside.
Oh my god, you're such a human full of kitten blood. It's so adorable. You're like, "I'd pick up Abaddon and put her outside."
Do they did they have any house rules for this match?
Okay, it was a house rules, meaning House of Black rules.
Yeah.
But as I've said, they give me all kinds of graphics for when it's like a points match, like the Continental Classic, but they don't give me enough graphics for what matches have what rules. Like, treat it like a video game. Tell me that falls count anywhere. Tell me that anybody can do anything because it was one of those matches. It was like so much kicking and falling and thrust kicking, but there weren't any weapons, there wasn't any interference. So what does it mean?
So they weren't clear about what the rules were then.
Not really. I need
Gotcha.
graphics.
They do need more graphics.
Like
Well, I'm
pretend
still gonna watch it and I'll see if I can figure out what the rules were.
absolutely, but I just want TV to treat me more like a child when it comes to sports. Like
Yeah,
show
act
me
like we're stupid, man.
yeah, show me colors like falls count anywhere, anyone can rush in, friends are barred from the ringside. Like, give me all of that in one go. I play video games. I'm used to the start screen. Like, give me the start screen. But this is loving requests, not a terrible criticism.
Well, you know they'll hear it, so we'll be having graphics from now on. Thank you,
Yes.
Harley.
Graphics, chanting,
Graphics.
graphics. Yes. If you
I
guys
am a
didn't
chanter.
Yes, if you guys didn't watch the last Drive-In Jamboree special, there was so much chanting. It was a delight. I felt like wrestling was there because
I
of
got
chanting.
chanting going. We were chanting.
Yes, I feel like teaching people even outside of the wrestling world how to do a proper chant, and that's a good deed.
Why, thank you. It's my goal in life to keep people chanting.
Chanting, taming the coyotes in your yard. I mean, you have a whole magical existence.
Why, thank you. So do
Yes.
you.
Oh, it's true. I do. Except it's full of like these groveling men sweating and cleaning my bathtub. But
Magic is magic, man.
it's true. But speaking of magic, Lexi Nair was backstage and she interviewed Harley Cameron and Zach Knight, and I never remember who they are. But they
Wait.
are
How is that speaking of magic?
I mean, Lexi Nair always looks really good. Like her hair is
Okay.
always on point, her outfits are on point.
I feel like that's the team more than magic, but okay.
Fair
Magic.
enough. Fair enough. But basically, they have some beef with Angelo. And they're going to fight, but they don't want to fight in Canada. So, whatever. Are they racist against Canadians?
Maybe they don't have their paperwork to go in there or something.
Their maple card. Yeah, that makes sense.
I know a lot of that happens with when they're going to different countries. Not everyone has their proper travel paperwork or whatever. So we'll
That's
see you
nuts.
when we're back from Canada.
Yeah, I mean, there's always some shenanigans with that stuff, and I don't know how true it is, but I read that after those like WWE Saudi Arabia shows, that there were some moments where people's planes weren't allowed to leave and they didn't know if they were going to be able to leave,
Wow.
and that maybe things were a little sketch. So I really want Dark Side of the Ring to cover some of those like international incidents.
Oh, I'm
I
sure they will. Give them another
Yes,
couple seasons.
there was this one wrestler called the Great Power Udi, and when he would go wrestle internationally, a lot of times where people thought the matches were like to the death or should be to the death, he was afraid for his life in some places where they were like, "We will kill you if you don't win the match," and he's like,
Wow.
"Okay, I'm
Like,
here to wrestle."
you
Yeah.
guys know how this works, right?
Yeah. So I
Okay,
love
so
that
I'm
stuff.
sorry. Back to Harley and them.
Yeah.
So they just the gist of it is that they want to
They,
wrestle after the Toronto show.
yeah, basically.
Okay, but you forget Harley. I love Harley.
I mean, I do. I don't know. I feel
He
like
has your name.
maybe that's why I forget
There
because
can
there
be
can
only
be
one.
only one. Yes. And I will chop off the head of any other Harley and
Okay,
absorb their power. Yeah.
I feel like speaking on behalf of all the listeners, we need a Harley versus Harley match.
Done.
Let's make it happen. I'm sure Rampage has room.
I accept and no holds barred. Anything goes. Chicago street fight.
Oh my god, I'm in. I'm walking you to the ring. I'm fucking in your corner. Let's do it.
Oh, yes. Yes. And then you and I can do the evening gown match where we either have to take each other out of or put each other into evening gowns.
Done. This is a great
Yes.
night.
I know, right? Again, let Harley do the booking.
Seriously. Where's their like eighth show where
I
they have
know,
you
right?
booking?
Okay, but the next match, I really enjoyed this booking. It was Sexy Dance, Daniel Garcia,
Yay.
versus Shane Taylor Promotions Lee Moriarty, but with Shane Taylor. So, there was some distractions,
Some
just long,
shenanigans.
yeah, shenanigans, but ultimately Sexy Dance won.
Woo!
Yes.
Sexy dance. Sexy dance.
Sexy Dance. I admit it, I love him. He won
I
me over.
I have loved him. Like the first time I remember seeing him was at the first LA show. And I walked in when he was wrestling and I was like, he is so good. But like you said, he didn't really have a gimmick. I'm like, man, people are just gonna forget about him. Daniel Garcia, what's that? You know what I mean? he was just a really good wrestler. But then, like, when he joined JAS, started becoming like the sports entertainer, and now the sexy dance, like, he's found his little gimmick, his niche. So I think he's all over just fucking awesome now, and people love him, and I fucking love that for him.
Yes, and at first I was lukewarm. I was like, "Who is this guy? He's like wearing small
Exactly.
panties,
He was
does a
so
little
normal,
dance."
you know?
Yeah, and now he's really found the cool thing about his sexy dance is it's really divisive. People either really hate it or they really love it, and that's the
What?
perfect
Who
thing
hates
in
it?
wrestling.
Who
Well,
hates it? I
Daddy
wanna word with
Magic,
you. What?
Daddy
Daddy Magic
Magic.
hates it?
I
I
mean,
thought he's supportive.
he's commented in the past negatively, and other people have commented in the past about his dancing negatively, and it's given him something to latch onto and say, "Fuck you guys, I'm gonna do my sexy dance. I'm gonna
Fuck
do it all
yeah.
over you. I'm gonna be me." And that was when I was like, "Yeah, be you. Do your sexy dance."
Heck
Like,
yeah. Do the dance, man.
So I'm pro Daniel Garcia sexy dance, and he won this match. So, haha, Moriarty.
Can we take a moment to go have a little offshoot? Also, that was adorable. Um, but there is a little bit of an there's always an internet kerfluffle where Jericho had an interview where he said his job is to put over the younger wrestlers and that he does that. And the internet loves to fucking argue, especially about Jericho for some reason, and say that he fucking, is a vampire and takes away from the younger wrestlers. But how is that even possible? Tell me what I'm missing. Cause like take Daniel, like I just said, like no one cared before the JAS. And then he started telling he gave him a gimmick and now he's, blossom and flying on his own. And like everybody he's worked with got elevated. Ricky Starks was just kind of okay. Then he had the Jericho thing and look at him now. Fucking and people keep going back to like Action Andretti, like, oh, how's he doing? But that's one person out of like everybody he's tried to elevate because he
Yeah.
brings in like foreign people we've never heard of and elevates them. But the fact that
Also, Andretti's wife works at the other company. Like, what does that have to do with
but
Jericho?
well, what it's not his fault if you aren't, the caliber
Yeah.
star that we expect you to. He gives you a chance. But the fact that people even know Action Andretti's name now, because when he first went up against Jericho, people were calling him Jobber. Like they were Jericho was in full heel heat then, and they were like, "Let's go, Jobber." And
Ah,
then he won, and now we know fucking Action Andretti. Maybe he's not the biggest star in the world, but we're aware of him, and he's still up and coming. So like, tell me what I'm missing. Where's the vampire section here? Where it's elevation. He's doing
no,
his job.
it's always these haters that want more screen time. They're like, "No, my 22-year-old favorite guy who's barely wrestled and can't land a moonsault should have more screen time." But of course, being with a seasoned wrestler who knows not just how to teach them how to take falls or how to do certain moves or how to do
Get better
gimmick
on the
in the ring.
mic. Like
Yes,
that's a big one.
exactly. Jericho's been incredible on the mic his whole career, but we can all call back to like the list and best friends and all these like gimmicks that he did, these storylines that he did that like put other people so over. I did not care about Kevin Owens at the WWE, and I still think he's a fat Winnie the Pooh fuck. But I cared all of a sudden about his story when like he and Jericho were best friends and had like a celebration of friendship. Like it was a delight.
Yes.
And
So he's been doing that for fucking ever and he's doing it now and people just love to be like, "Oh, he just can't like stand it when anybody else is getting attention." It's like, "No, he's getting them attention. What don't you understand about that?"
now, haters are going to hate, and ultimately, the people that have decided to hate on Jericho are still giving him power by speaking his name. The internet knows who's talking about people, and if you just talk about someone, it's like Voldemort. Keep saying his name. He'll just get more power, and more people want to ask him questions and ask him interviews about these kerfuffles. And so, I don't know what haters think they're accomplishing besides like some kind of masturbatory narcissistic self-indulgent desire to say something mean about someone who's way more successful than them. um
Wow, well said.
I mean, I get a lot of haters. I mean, no one likes the rich and beautiful. I know.
I love the
But
rich and beautiful.
oh yeah, but you're rich and beautiful too. So, it's game recognizes game. But all of that to say, like, internet haters always going to hate. I only care about shit that has receipts. If someone did something wrong and you can prove it to me, then okay, maybe that person's a bad person and I shouldn't buy their shit. But ultimately, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, and I'm just here to watch the show.
I wish I could scream out to all those people like how fucking wrong they are. But anyway,
Aha.
I got
No,
a
you
second opinion.
can't.
I was like, just tell me if I'm fucking nuts because like everyone he has worked with, like no one, there's so many that no one gave a fuck about, and then they do, and yeah, then we fucking care about them on their own. But it started with Jericho collaboration. Whether
I
you want
mean,
to remember that fact or not, it's true.
it's true. And just remember, haters, you're paying Jericho's bills because you're watching the show and talking about him on the internet. So keep saying about how you hate Daddy Jericho and how he doesn't do what you like. Keep watching the show, everybody, 3 times a week. Collision, Dynamite, and Rampage.
Whew. And if
Yeah.
you feel like it, Ring of Honor, why not?
I mean, yeah, Ring of Honor is great too. They have the belts on the other shows. But, we should get back
Okay,
to the show.
sidetrack.
Speaking
Okay, go
of,
back.
the Bastard Pack
Ooh,
versus
he's back.
Aaron Solo. Yes, the Bastard. So much better of a gimmick than like Neville. Neville. Neville's something you blow your nose on and throw it away. But
I
the
do picture
Bastard?
like little bow tie and suspenders and glasses.
Yes. Yeah, he's the guy with the calculator in his pocket.
Exactly. Although I would like that gimmick for him. Anyway,
It
we'll
was a
take
good
the
gimmick.
bastard.
Yeah, but the fans are happy to see Pac. They were like, "Welcome back, welcome back." Ultimately, the match stopped via ref stoppage. No one won. So
Ooh, we don't like
Pac,
that.
no, Pac put Solo in the Brutalizer submission and technically won via ref stoppage, but he didn't tap out. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it was a good match. It was a good welcome back warm up match. But who do you think they're going to pit Pac against? Does he have old beef? I can't even remember.
It's been so long. He can just pick up wherever the fuck he wants because no one remembers.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
defy anyone to remember who Pac was warring with before he got hurt.
That's fair. I have a short memory. And as you've said before, we are partially sponsored by weed.
Woo!
Yeah, it's a plant. We like plants. So, speaking of plants and people who I think like plants, we got this weird backstage segment with Brian Danielson meditating. And he is
Hmm.
literally in the lotus position and he is talking about his match with Will Ospreay coming up at Dynasty, and they both are talking like they're going to die in the ring. So he's like meditating like a Shaolin monk going like, I will not die in the ring. And Will Ospreay
Wait,
might die.
is that literally what he said?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
He was like,
god.
it's
Calm
live or
down, Brian.
die. It's live or die, and I don't plan on dying. But also while like meditating. Yo, Buddha is not really about killing other men in the ring.
Wow, that's so next level.
I enjoyed it. It was talk about
it
character.
it sounds amazing. So
Yeah.
extra point for Brian Danielson this week for being a fucking overacting meditator
Yes.
guy.
Yes, and there's some delightful contradiction in a guy who's like breathing and like, I'm gonna kick Will Ospreay's ass.
I have to see it.
Like, yeah,
Okay, I love that.
yeah, and you'll like that a lot better than the match that followed the meditating segment because it was your favorite,
Oh no.
Claudio,
Oh no.
versus the murder hawk monster, Lance Archer. I don't think of him so much as murder hawk. He has no bird. Come out with a
I
bird.
agree. Like I never thought that name fit him very well.
No, I think of him as dreadlock because he's got
Yeah, exactly.
like cyber dreadlocks.
He needs to lean into that more. I mean, I guess he's Murder Hawk, so we're stuck with Murder Hawk. But yeah, you definitely think of his like weird, crazy, cyber dreadlocks or whatever the fuck's going on
Yeah.
there.
And so this was another one where there was kind of no clear winner because like Archer's like choke slamming Claudio and Claudio comes back with the Death Valley driver and then Claudio hits a cutter on Archer and the fans are chanting, but then
Chanting.
yes, chanting. But then the righteous come down the ramp and ambush Claudio in the ring and Bryan Danielson
Yay.
out to help out Claudio, and then it was just a full on what I call the House of Black finish. It wasn't House of Black; it was a dusty finish. Then Shibata comes into the ring with a chair, and
What?
everybody runs away. And so Tony Schiavone
They're
said
so
the match,
scared of the chair.
yeah, one chair to rule them all.
Our one weakness.
Yes. Oh, yeah, their kryptonite is the chair. So Tony Schiavone informs me, the viewer, that the match is just thrown out.
What? That seems
Yeah.
like bullshit. Were people upset?
Yeah. Not even a draw. Just like this match has been null and
What?
voided.
Fuck that noise. Did the crowd like boo and shit?
I mean, it seemed like the crowd maybe was a little confused. Like they didn't hear what I heard from the commentators.
That
So-
definitely happens in the fucking ring or in the arena where we're like, what happened? What's going on? And we like go to the internet to see what the fuck happened.
Oh, I've totally done that. I've totally gone to Twitter during a wrestling show that I'm at to
What
figure out what
happened?
just
Explain.
happened.
Like, they so need to figure out like a fucking PA system there or some shit, man. Like,
Again,
tell us what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, give me a $5 fucking headset that I can listen to
Yes.
the commentary.
Or even like drive-ins where like turn to this radio station and you can hear it,
Oh, I would love that too. Yeah, listen to 96.9 AM to hear
Yeah,
the
I have my little
commentary.
headphone, like have one earbud in and listen. I don't know.
I know they do that
Seems
shit
like a
for
no-brainer.
other. Yeah, they do that shit for other sports like baseball.
Well, another one you should add, Tony Khan.
Yeah, I know people who go on the internet and stream the show on their phones to listen to the commentary, even though it's delayed. So those people are hardcore. All right, so we get a backstage with Lexi Nair, Ruby Soho, Angelo Parker. It's like not very romantic, but they just call Zach a coward and say that they will fight him. So
How do we feel about Zach?
Basic.
Yeah, pretty basic. Have you seen him in other like promotions before, or is this your introduction to him?
This is my introduction to him. I think another man tragically born without a gimmick.
I think his gimmick is Soraya's brother.
Oh, he's Soraya's brother.
Yeah.
That's
So,
why
like-
he sounds like he's got potatoes in his mouth.
Exactly. Yeah. So his whole thing right now is just like she's mad because she was trying to hook him up with Ruby or something, and I don't fucking know. Just something overprotective sister bullshit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm glad you filled me in on that because I just thought he was another guy that was like, I'm a guy, and he needs some
I
face
mean,
paint
Still
or
a guy.
a balloon. You know.
Like, didn't you see the movie based on my family?
Yeah, I remembered that The Rock was in it.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. But our next match was Kyle O'Reilly versus the bounty hunter, Brian Keith.
Wait, is this
like,
Kyle O'Reilly's first match? Like full match?
was it?
I don't remember another one.
I feel like I've seen him scuffle
He's been
before.
around, you know.
Uh-huh.
But I don't remember. Let's pretend it is. Yay! Kyle O'Reilly's AEW debut.
Yeah, there's just too many. I've seen his face too many times. He's like that boy that's always smoking by the bleachers, and I'm like, do you work here? Do you even go to school here? So I mean, Kyle O'Reilly won, which I was surprised by. So maybe it was his debut because I really thought Brian Keith was going to have it. I think Brian Keith is a better wrestler, in all honesty, but maybe he was putting Kyle over.
I feel like they want to put Kyle over right now for sure.
Yeah,
If it's not his very first match, then it's right up there, and they need to establish him.
Yeah, and then the Undisputed Kingdom came out to help him celebrate. So, you have to know this guy's not a total loser. He's got friends. See, like he wins, he celebrates, he's
I mean, if those are your friends, that is not not making you a loser?
I mean, it's like that picture somebody puts on their dating profile that's like, "See, I'm not just like a creepy person alone in an alley. I have
I have
people."
friends.
Yeah. That's the one I look for whenever a girl, like, I know shows me a Tinder profile and is like, "What about this guy?" And like, show me a picture where he's with other human beings.
Interesting, because I never put other people in my pictures anywhere.
I just want to know that they know other human beings and other human beings will tolerate their existence. Like, you're beautiful. Of course, I know other people want to be around you. I'm talking about normos.
Oh my god.
So Lexi Nair was getting fucking work tonight. So
Collision is her time to shine for sure.
it is, and she looked great. She looked confident. She had a glow, but
Do you know whose daughter she is?
Oh no, whose daughter is she?
She is DDP's daughter, I think.
Oh, DDP.
Look that
Down in
up. I'm pretty
LA.
sure.
Okay,
I'm
I hope.
gonna research that.
Yeah, now that you've said it, like, the internet will be all in a kerfuffle if you're wrong, and then they'll be total dicks
Well,
about
she's
it.
definitely somebody's daughter. I think it was Diamond Dallas Page. Let me see.
Are you doing a live Google?
I am.
During this important live Google, I want to tell you guys the wrestling facts that I wanted to share with the AEW fans, but also really I look up these wrestling facts just to share them with my fellow podcast co-hosts. And of course, beautiful Diana Prince is the only podcast co-host that reliably shows up. It's incredible. Do the
Stepdaughter.
boys stepdaughter counts.
It
But
totally counts.
do the boys like not have jobs? How do they hold anything down? But your wrestling fact for today is that the most famous ancient wrestler was a Greek wrestler, Milan of Croton, who lived around 600 BCE. He won the wrestling championship of the Olympic Games 6 times.
That's amazing. What a great fact.
Yeah, according to legend, he carried a calf every day from its birth until it became a full-size ox, and then carried the ox on his shoulders through the stadium at Olympia. And then one day he tried to tear apart a tree with his hands that had been split, and the wedge fell out of the tree and closed on his hands, and he was eaten to death by wolves.
Oh my god.
Greece!
Is this like a legend or is it like real?
This is the legend is of his death, but
Okay.
he was a factual, historical, ancient Greek wrestler.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, the
Cool.
legend is just about him being eaten to death by wolves. But I love a good man being torn to death by wolves.
I mean, how can you not?
When are we
They-
going to get wolves in wrestling, eating the people?
I feel like never. I feel like that's a bit much.
Fair. Okay.
The wolf tearing apart match next
I
on
mean,
Rampage.
it's something I've never seen before. But
There's probably a good reason for that.
yeah. But so Lexi Nair, stepdaughter of the fabulous
I
Diamond
mean,
Dallas Page.
we both brought facts.
Yeah, we brought facts. Also, Diamond Dallas Page seems to be the fucking fairy godmother of old wrestlers. I've been watching Dark Side of the Ring, and I always watch Dark Side of the Ring, but every time a wrestler is not like terribly dying, there's Diamond Dallas Page like bringing them back to life. Like, just come live at my house and I'll teach you yoga. And
It's true. And here's
he
a
did
fun fact. He was
What?
on my old show promoting that before like the second it came out. Like I think I might have been the first show he's promoting his yoga for men thing.
Oh, I
So
love that. Yeah, it used to be YRG workout,
yeah.
and then it became the DDP workout. We talk about intellectual property. We know how shit goes. But ultimately, he's always the guy like Jake the Snake needs somewhere to stay, and
I
he's living with
know.
Diamond Dallas Page. And it was just always so cute on Dark Side of the Ring, where when a wrestler is talking about their story, they're like, yeah, shit was really bad, but Diamond Dallas Page was like, let me, you come live at my house. And I love
Aw, I
that
love
part of the
that.
story. So put that on your
Agree.
bingo card, your drinking game for Dark Side of the Ring. Okay, but back to Lexi Nair interviewing Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
they've never teamed before, but then they're going to face Toni Storm and Mariah May next week on Dynamite. And they claim that they're going to stop the games and jokes and bring the drama. I want to see so many shoes fly in the air.
But does that count as game and joke?
Not if you hit the other person right in the face with your shoe.
Yeah. No joke there then.
Mhm. I like to wear the really heavy, like chunky shoes. If you're watching on the video feed, I
Ah!
almost knocked down all the shit I own. But like, look at this shoe. If you
Ooh,
throw
that would do some damage.
Yeah, if you throw this shoe at another person, they're not gonna make it well. So this is not fun and games. No.
I wonder how they'd take it if we threw a shoe in the ring at a show.
Oh no, that's no good. You can't do that.
Even not at somebody, but just like Bravo kind of shit. Like, here's a shoe.
Oh, okay. Like throwing a wine bottle, or no, not a wine bottle, a glass of wine.
Well, yeah, like the equivalent of like throwing roses or something. That's a shoe in Tony Storm's, you know, in her honor.
Okay, what if we get glitter and that is shoes, and then we glitter bomb the ring with shoe glitter?
Okay, let's do that. It seems less
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah, we've worked it out to be nice and humane. While I did not knock down everything that I own trying to show you my shoes. Another exciting
Someone appreciates it,
content.
I'm sure.
But it's exciting content that you don't get on other podcasts.
Fair. Tell me one other wrestling pod that brought out their fucking heels. Tell me one.
Yeah. Okay, so for all the shoe people, more shoes. But so they are going to fight, and then we get the AEW World Tag Team Title Tournament wild card match. Okay, the Infantry versus House of Black's Brody King and Buddy Matthews.
Let me guess how this went.
Okay, do guess. I want to hear your guess.
There's no way Infantry won.
No, they did not.
Yay, I'm psychic.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Briscoe was actually the one that kind of won it. Like, he wasn't supposed to, but he did. You know, again, you can't
How
keep,
so? What do you mean?
like, okay, so Mark Briscoe runs down to the ring and he whacks Buddy Matthews in the head with a steel chair. And then Brody King follows Briscoe and leaves Buddy Matthews in the ring. And then Sean Dean crawls over and covers Buddy Matthews. So
Gotcha.
Mark Briscoe with the steel chair really was the one who won it for
It's been a chair night then.
Yeah. I mean, okay, am I the only one, whenever I hear Buddy Matthews' name, I hear Weezer's Buddy
I
Holly?
did too. Holy shit.
Woo-wee you.
I
look
was just
like
thinking it in
Buddy
my head.
Matthews.
Oh my God, literally every time. I'm so glad you said it.
Yes. No, we have a lot of the same thoughts. That's what women who watch wrestling learn when they start talking about wrestling. Like Blackpool Combat Club is always Big Black Cock. Buddy
Yep.
Matthews is always a Weezer song. These are just the way our
It's
brains
just facts,
work.
man.
Yeah. Oh, and then Malachi Black came down to the ring at the end of the match, and then he stared at Mark Briscoe, and the stare was a mad stare. It was an angry stare.
Ooh.
So I think maybe they're building up to some breakup fight, you know, sassiness.
Well, we're here for sassiness.
Sassy wrestling. That would be my wrestling promotion, is a sassy wrestling, and it's just all like gloves and faces and shoes and
I
ridiculous
challenge
matches.
thee, sir.
Good sir, not on this day of St. Patrick. Surely not.
I feel like the world needs sassy wrestling.
Yeah, sassy wrestling.
Coming soon to TNT.
Yes. Yes. Hosted by Tony Storm.
Oh, of course. You know what? How about RJ City?
Ooh, I accept.
He's got some sass in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of sass to go around.
There is. There's not a sass shortage anywhere in AEW.
That's true.
Or
And talk
wrestling in general, really.
That's the point. It's where people get to be sassy, not just the wrestlers where they get to say mean things to each other, but it's where the fans get to be sassy. It's where they get to make signs that just say, I made this sign to block the peasants behind me.
Ooh, sassy.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Did you really? Somebody did that?
I did see that sign. I can't
Holy
remember
shit.
I can't remember if it was at this show or if it was at like an earlier show this week, but I swear, shout out to Sign Guy who made the sign that was just to block the peasants behind them.
Wow, that's so
Yes.
fucked up, but welcome to Sassy Wrestling.
I mean, that's what wrestling is about. And speaking of being incredibly sassy, we hear from Adam Copeland, who carries the giant case with the word Spike on it and comes out and has a nice long monologue. Oh, yes.
Okay, so I saw that he was trending, and I didn't do research to find out why. So tell me, why was he trending? What was so great about this?
Well, because so he pulls out a bunch of 2x4 with nails sticking out of it. That was what is
Ooh.
in the Spike box, and he it's a little bit Walking Dead Negan, where he's like, Spike is hungry. She wants to take a bite out of you, Christian Cage.
Oh no, he's not talking like that, was he?
Yeah, he's
Ew.
exactly talking like that.
That's too much sass there, Adam Copeland.
Yeah, but I guess he said, I quit match in our hometown after 40 years. This fight's gonna end.
Okay, I'm scared about that. Like, I don't want an I quit match. Do you think they're really going to stick to that?
I mean, real talk, Cope is often on other programs. Like, he had a long run on Vikings and he was really good. Like, anything that has old timey guys with beards that are super ripped, like, he's there.
Yeah, but
So
he could still not quit.
maybe he's just gonna quit for a little bit and
He's
do like
too new to quit. You know what I mean? Like, he just got here. He can't leave already.
You're right. I guess I just feel like he's been here forever because he's been in wrestling forever. Because
Nah,
he
man.
is a
I
legend.
remember, yeah, I mean, he's been around forever, but AEW wise, like, his debut was just like not even a year ago, I think.
No, you're right. I mean, time warp is real, and the fact that it's already March and Mania's coming up again, like we
I
met
know,
at
that's fucking weird
Mania.
too.
Oh my God, Diana, Mania's our anniversary.
Aw, happy almost anniversary.
Yeah, we'll have to celebrate with a pillow fight.
Aw, I'm down and we have to video for sure.
Yeah, we will. Maybe
Let's
if the
just video
fans.
during Mania.
Yes, if the fans cry out, if they scream and they tweet and they hashtag enough, maybe.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Show us that you want that pillow fight.
That's right. So, Copeland has gone full
Spike.
Negan with the Spike bat thing. And yeah, I also don't want to actually see a wrestler hit another wrestler with a 2x4 with nails in it. That's not really why I'm here.
I mean, I'm not going to judge if that's what they want to do.
I mean, I guess
I'm not opposed.
Triple H came out with the sledgehammer for years, so
Whatever is your weapon of choice.
I have to trust that Cope is not actually gonna murder Christian in front of me.
Man, when are they doing this match? Do you know?
I think is it
pay-per-view?
Dynasty?
Is it? It's all the way in fucking April?
I mean, I'm not clear.
That seems so far away.
No, April is just like tomorrow, girl.
But it's like the middle of April, so it's like a full month.
That's true. They are gonna make us wait. They do love a little tease and denial.
We've been teased enough.
Oh, Diana does not like being teased, gentlemen.
I do not, man. Finish me off.
Ooh, after we finish the podcast, Diana. After.
Wow. Tweet us if you want video of that.
Oh my God! No, fans, you don't get video of that. That's just for us.
It would take a lot of tweeting.
I know. Now we're getting really sassy or saucy. Other words that start with S.
Well, we have to stick to our brand, so sassy.
Sassy, and you know what?
Putting the ass in sassy.
Yeah, I was just about to say this show wasn't gay enough. It didn't have the Acclaimed. It didn't have Dalton Castle.
Oh, that's true.
It didn't have. I did notice that the other show at the other promotion, they have what I would call maybe a little bit of like a Dalton Castle kind of ripoff, where they have like a new tag team that's a little bit gay.
No way! Look at that!
Yeah,
Jumping on our fucking bandwagon.
it's like two hot guys called like Pretty deadly or pretty dangerous or whatever. And I'm like, oh man, they watch AEW. That's
Oh,
what
they
a like
definitely fucking do.
a
And you guys are
totally
welcome for them stepping up their fucking game since they have competition finally.
Hey, competition is good for us, the fans. It just means we have
Agree.
more wrestling to watch, more product to consume. You know, sometimes I run out of wrestling and I gotta go find it on the internet. That was me slapping my veins for those of you not watching the video feed.
Oh,
But
I
yeah.
interpret that a different way, but okay. Slapping something else.
Oh, no, girl, that was for drugs.
I
But
thought you're just really excited about wrestling.
I am. I'm always fucking excited about wrestling. I mean, you know, we should do like inside the actor's studio. Like, what turns you on? Wrestling. What turns you off? Men who don't watch wrestling. But the show pretty much ended with Cope and his stick alone, his wood, as it often does for men. Uh, what should we rate this show? I know you didn't get to see it, but just on your thoughts. Sticks, chairs,
Um, what was the name of the pasta we learned at the beginning? Carbonara?
carbonara.
Let's do it in carbonara.
All right, but wait, I don't even like carbonara.
Um, well, okay. It just has to be carbonara then. What about your fancy shoes? I know you've done shoes before, but this is a very
Oh,
special
okay.
shoe one.
You want to rate these? These are just some lowly Steve Maddens, not like my fucking clutch of Louis Vuittons over there. But we will rate them in shoes to the face. Um, I give this episode, I'm going to give it a solid 3 shoes to the face. And that might
Ooh, that's
sound
not great.
harsh. It might sound harsh, but sometimes these are episodes that are building. Little waves lead to big waves. They're pushing us toward the next pay-per-view, and that means that they got to work up to it a little bit. But, you know, what did you
That's true.
think
You gotta
based on the
have building
matches?
ones.
Yeah.
Um, I I'm gonna give it 3 as well, having not seen it, just because it's like sometimes when you fill me in, I'm like chomping at the bit. I have to go back and watch this up. This sounds like I'll watch it when I have a little free time. I'm not gonna like rush and go watch it right this second. So
I
am I
agree with
wrong? It
that.
sounds more like a like I'll get caught up when I can versus like appointment television. Gotta go fucking catch up right the second is the feel I'm
Yeah.
getting.
I do agree with that. And you guys can all catch it on the apps, on the replays, and it's worth it, especially if you're just like, well, wrestling, you know.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely want to check out the Brian Danielson match
Ah!
and the Adam Copeland. Those are the 2 that are and you know what? The women's match. You made it sound really beautiful, so I'm gonna check that out too.
It was, and I just like watching Julia Hart. She is a good performer.
Do
She
you remember
always
when she was a cheerleader in AEW?
I actually don't. Every time you remind me of that, I'm like, "Oh
It's
yeah."
so weird to think about, like, just how different she is and how far she's come, and I just fucking love that. It makes me so happy for her.
It's a lot of good character development because ultimately that's what we want when we're watching the show, we the fans, is I just need something to hold on to. I liked Britt Baker because I knew she was a real doctor and that person had to go to school and was a legitimate badass. That's something for me to hold on to. Julia Hart is like a cool goth chick that always shows up and does some like witchy cool shit, but she can also really wrestle. You
Fuck
know,
yeah. And I don't even think she really wrestled very much when she was, with the Varsity Blondes. I think that she was more like, eye candy for a little bit, but she has made herself, like,
mhm.
through really hard work, become so much more than that. And that's
Yeah, more than a
fucking,
hot blonde, for
yes,
sure.
props for that. Amazing.
Yes. So I guess that leaves us with our awards.
Okay.
So
This is
the
going to have to be probably up to you. So I will say them and you pick the winners.
okay, I will.
Okay. Let's start with the biggest, John Holmes' biggest dick of the week award.
I am going to go with Malachi Black because I think he's going to pick a fight with Mark Briscoe, even though Briscoe always makes me entertained.
He's
He's
like a
always
big
got
puppy dog, man. Why do you want to fight with him?
yeah, he is. He's like one of those pit bulls that will bite you, but only like a little, like the soft bite, the play bite.
Ah, I just want
Except
to.
Also got a steel chair.
Okay, fair. But I just want to pat him on the head, like his big silly eyes and stuff. I love him.
He does. He has googly eyes. If you put googly eyes on Mark Briscoe, he looks the same.
I know, you wouldn't even notice. Okay,
Okay.
so Dewey Riley, hero of the week.
Hero of the week. Ooh. I mean, in the same heart, like in the same vein, I was going to say Mark Briscoe, but I feel like that's too much love for Briscoe. I've been too
I mean,
nice
if he
for
deserved,
him.
listening to what you said, Mark Briscoe is the person that came to my mind too. Like, it
He
sounded like he
does.
was rushing out there to save some shit.
No, he entertains me, but no, I'm too nice to him. And sometimes men cannot be praised too much or they become lazy and weak. So instead, Julia Hart, she always
Okay.
entertains me. She's always beautiful. There's nothing wrong with her.
All right. I will absolutely take Julia Hart as hero of the week.
Yes.
So who do you have for Freddie versus Jason match or showdown of the week?
Ooh, okay. I mean, the showdown, the match, are they the same? Are they different? I liked the tag team title tournament wildcard match, which again is
Really?
that same like Briscoe match, but it was just fun. I felt like
But
everybody was
that's the
having a
one that
good
they
time.
said didn't count, right?
That is the one they said didn't
Well, that
count, but
bugs me. I don't fucking like that shit.
well, then I guess you're gonna have to watch the show if you want to have an informed opinion of your own, Diana.
Or do I boycott it because it didn't even count anyway? So fuck you.
Oh, it's true. You know, I could say this. I could say no acclaimed, no Abaddon, no Daddy Ass, no Jericho, no Hook, no Samoa Joe. I mean, was it the show that was the dick of the week? Hmm?
Well, I mean, that sounds like a typical rampage, or not
That's
rampage,
true.
collision.
Ah, you forgot what show we were watching.
Yeah, true.
Okay, and then I guess our last award is the Ric Flair fashion
Fashion
icon.
icon, yes.
This week, I give it to Weezer's Buddy Matthews. Because
Really?
his ridiculous Hulkamania pants.
Oh,
He,
Lord. I got to check this shit out then.
he just always looks like he's hulked out of his pants, and it's a consistent gimmick. He looks like he Dr. Jekylled and Mr. Hyded and then went back to Dr. Jekyll and didn't change his pants.
Oh, my God. I can totally picture that. And that's accurate.
It reminds me of this time a guy was like, Mistress Harley, feminize me. And I was like, okay, put on stockings. And then he put on stockings like a pair of pants. Now, you know that when you put on stockings, you kind of roll them up like a condom and gently put them on your leg.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that.
This guy grabbed the waist of the stockings and jammed his feet right
Oh,
into them.
no.
Yeah.
I hope you gave him hell for that.
I did, but that's what Buddy Matthews did with his pants. Yeah.
Oh, my God, accurate.
So, gentlemen, you got to roll up those tight pants like a little condom and stick your foot in there. Otherwise, you end up with Buddy Matthews pants.
Aw. But hey, he won Fashion Icon of the Week for it, so.
But in a mocking and ironic and sardonic manner.
He'll take it. He's so proud of that now.
That's right. Now, last week, I did my promo in the style of Will Ospreay and really did a terrible, terrible British accent.
What? I want to hear.
Yes.
Was that the dynamite that I missed?
It was.
Aw,
But
I hope you said
I-
bruv a lot.
I did. So I want you, Diana Prince, tell me what
Yes.
you're promoting this week, but try to do it in the style of Will Ospreay, bruv.
Oh my God, I'm never gonna fucking get that. Let's see. Let me try. No. I'll just add some bruvs.
Just do it. Do it. What are you promoting this week, Diana?
This week you can watch the season premiere of Last Drive-In featuring Roger Corman and Bruce Dern is now
Woo!
streaming on Shudder and AMC Plus. And then starting next week, we're back bi-weekly. So watch Last
Yay!
Drive-In because we're working our asses off to make it entertaining for you.
It is entertaining as a fuck. And
Yeah.
interviews with legends like Roger Corman make it so delightful, extra for film nerds like me. I'm like, oh my God, Grandpa Corman, tell me all about the jelly
Aw.
monsters.
Well, much like our podcast, I feel like there's nobody doing anything like what we do with our show. So
Absolutely fucking
check it
not.
out, man.
Yes.
Bruv,
And-
I mean.
Bruv.
Check it out, bro.
I am Mistress Harley. I am featured in the recently released documentary at the Copenhagen Film Festival, Can't Feel Nothing, by director David Bornstein. The film will be touring in Canada, the Americas, and I don't know, maybe I'll throw a premiere here in Beverly Hills because
Ooh,
fuck it, why not?
I'm fucking there if you do.
Yeah, you want to come?
Fuck
It
yeah.
is a film about how people look on the internet to feel feelings, all the feelings,
Wow.
including the bad feelings. I'm the bad feelings.
Aw. I mean, that's appropriate.
Yeah, so watch the film, review the film on IMDb. I don't even care if you hate it. Just review it. Interact with it. Just like haters on the internet, even if you hate it, that still works for me.
Say your
But
name, baby. Make you stronger.
fuck yeah. I'm like Voldemort. The more you talk about me, the more power I have. And in that same vein, you can find us online at AwesomePod, hashtag AwesomePod. That's AEW-some pod, you ignorant motherfuckers. And
It's a pun, y'all. It's a pun.
yeah, it's a pun. It's fun. And namaste W.
Aw, namaste W to you too, mistress.
Yes, and also to the raggedy bitches.
Of course.